Chiefs roster projection time. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, here on the Chiefs Report. Let's go through the 53-man roster projection, the way too early version. And yes, it is still a 53-man roster. The national media has decided to confuse you guys. It's still 53. The 55 is because you can promote up to 2 players on game day from the practice squad to the active roster. So that's how you can get up to 55, but it is strictly a 53-man roster with the option of promoting these practice squad guys up to 2 times during the season. If you want to do it more than that, they have to be a part of the 53-man roster, which means you would have to cut somebody else. Game day rosters up to 48 now, so those are a couple of notes before we get on into it. So let's go to quarterback. I'm going to say Kansas City carries 3, and I wouldn't be the biggest fan of this, but we saw them do this last year. Patrick Mahomes, Chad Henne, and Matt Moore were the 3 guys last year once they signed Moore and Henne got healthy. This year I'm going to go 3 as well. Jordan Ta'amu beating out SHEA Patterson for that third-string quarterback spot here. Look, the Chiefs consistently, despite having Patrick Mahomes, have been willing to bring in young developmental quarterbacks, and they brought in 2 guys this year. I think Ta'amu wins the job. He's dual threat type of player. He's got similar traits to what this offense wants. I think he will be the third quarterback with the potential of being the long-term backup to Patrick Mahomes. But he'll have to beat out SHEA Patterson for the third-string quarterback job. So what do you guys think? Who will be the third quarterback on this roster? Type S for SHEA Patterson, type J for Jordan Ta'amu. I'm going with J for Jordan Ta'amu, but it could be SHEA Patterson, and it's also possible that the Chiefs only carry 2 quarterbacks, but go ahead and let me know down in the comments section. While you're doing that, why don't you go ahead and get yourselves a Chiefs hat while it's on sale at chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. The best thing about this is a couple things. One, we got tons of different variety, tons of different styles, and hey, Father's Day is just around the corner, so why not take advantage of getting one of these bad boys while it's on sale? Send it to your dad. It'll make him happy. He'll have some new gear for the upcoming season. Go to chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. I'll put that link in the comments and in the description. Take advantage while it's 25% off. All right, let's go to the running back position. This is one of the harder ones for the Kansas City Chiefs because they have so much depth. Damian Wilson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire are both locks to make the team unless they trade Damian Williams, which I don't think that's going to happen here. DeAndre Washington, I've got him making the roster as the third running back. Then you've got Darwin Thompson and Darrell Williams. Anthony Sherman's going to make it as a fullback, so he's my 4th guy. I've got them keeping Darwin Thompson, and then they'll probably cut or trade Darrell Williams. I just don't think there's enough room for all of these guys. I don't think they're going to punt on Thompson after drafting him last year. You signed DeAndre Washington for a reason. One of these guys has to go. I'm saying Darrell Williams is the odd man out, but what say you? Who do you guys think the odd running back out is of this group? Go ahead, comment down below. I think it's Darrell Williams, but outside of Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Damian Williams, any of these guys could get cut, so go ahead and let me know. We go to wide receiver now. I'm going to go lighter here, and this might be a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to go 5 players. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, those are your starters. They're obviously locks. Demarcus Robinson's a lock to make this football team. I think Byron Pringle's your 5th guy, special teams value. He did some nice things last year. I think he makes the roster. Obviously, like guys like Garrett Dieter in the mix. Jody Fortson's in the mix as well. Maurice French. Lots of UDFAs that are going to compete for roster spots. But I'm going to go with 5 here and with a couple of guys in the practice squad who we'll get to at the end of the show. We'll go through the projected practice squad as well. But between Sammy Watkins and McCole Hardman, who will have the bigger impact in 2020? Last year, Watkins was clearly still the number 2 guy, but I think Hardman could be the guy this year. You look at the numbers from a year ago. Hardman doubled him up in receiving touchdowns and took advantage of his opportunities. Almost 21 yards per catch. Obviously, Watkins got a lot more opportunities. He's been around in the NFL for a lot longer, but I truly believe it's going to be a big season for McCole Hardman, so it would not shock me if it is him. But type W for Sammy Watkins or type H for McCole Hardman. Hopefully it's Hardman because Watkins hits free agency after this season. We go to the tight end position now. Obviously, Travis Kelce's your starter. He's obviously making the team. Ricky Seals-Jones brought him in free agency. I think he's the backup. And then Deion Yelder's your 3rd guy. Pretty simple here. I don't think Nick Keiser makes the roster. I release him. We'll see if he makes the practice squad. Stick around for that later in the show, like I said. But 3 tight ends. Don't think it's super complicated. Those are your 3 guys this season. Offensive line, this is another tricky one, kind of like running back, lots of depth there. I'm going to go with 10 guys there. You see the starters from left to right, obviously on your screen. I think Remmers is a lock to make the team. Obviously, Lucas Niang, the draft pick out of TCU, he's going to make the team after taking him in the second round. Third round. My surprise one here is Darrell Williams out of Mississippi State, the UDFA center guard hybrid. I think he's your 10th guy here, and they go heavy on the offensive line because got a couple of guys who are hitting free agency after this upcoming season. I think Kansas City would like to keep an extra offensive lineman on the roster, especially with the expanded rosters as well, potentially on up from 46 to 48 if you carry 8 offensive linemen. So I got them having 10 on their 53-man roster. All right, guys, if you haven't already, I hope you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to increase our coverage here. Look, I'll be honest, the other team channels here at Chat Sports, Cowboys, Raiders, they get to do more videos because they have more subscribers. We're doing a lot here. We're trying to do one every single day, though. At least that's what I want. So continue to subscribe. We just crossed the 5,000 subscriber mark. If you haven't already, hit the big red button and turn on notifications. That way you never miss a video. Let's get to 10,000 subs as soon as we can, and we'll keep growing the channel thanks to you guys. Let's go to the defense now. Defensive line depth chart. I'm grouping it all as one. 9 players here. The starters are obvious for Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, Alex Okafor. Those are your starters. It gets tricky at your extra defensive end spots because Mike Pennell and Kalen Saunders, they're locks as well at DT. I only got 4 defensive tackles. But then you got Breland Speaks, Michael Dana, who you drafted, the silent K there with Tano Passanio. You guys notice Taco Charlton's not on the screen. I think he's the odd man out here. Unless you want to carry 10 defensive linemen, which is a possibility, I think between him, Dana, and Speaks, one is going to have to go. So I'll leave it up to you guys. I cut Taco Charlton, but who are you guys going to cut? Between these 3, which one are you letting go? Type S for Breland Speaks, type C for Taco Charlton, type D for Michael Dana. Dana's probably got the least talent and obviously experience, but they drafted him in the 5th round. I think Charlton's the odd man out. I think he gets cut. Linebacker position now. I'm going 6 linebackers here. I thought about 5, thought about 6. I was reluctant here, but I did go with 6. Anthony Hitchens, Damian Wilson, and Willie Gay Jr., obviously your starters. Dorian O'Daniel, he's been good on special teams, has not been very good on defense, though, but I've got him making the team. Ben Neiman, I think, is your 4th linebacker. I think he's pretty much a lock. And then Darius Harris, who spent a lot of last season on IR. Brett Veach likes him. I think they'll try and make a roster spot for him. It could be down to him and O'Daniel if the Chiefs only carry 5, but I'm going to go with 6 here, and all of them make it. All right, I want to remind you guys one more time of our deal of the day here on the Chiefs Report. It's chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. Lots of hats, up to 25% off. We'll have that link in the comments, link in the description. Father's Day is just around the corner. Easy gift to get them is a Kansas City Chiefs hat while it's on sale. Yes, we have a lot of the Super Bowl hats as well. It's chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. That link will be in the comments and in the description to make it easy for you guys. The secondary now, let's start at cornerback. Bashaud Breeland, notice I have an asterisk next to his name. Possible suspension. So if he starts out suspended, an extra roster spot opens up. So that could change things either for this position or another one. I got 5 in total. Breeland, Ward, Rashad Fenton in the nickel there. L'Jarius Sneed, the draft pick. I think Antonio Hamilton's your 5th guy there as a key special teams member and a depth corner. I thought about Takarius Keys, the player they drafted back into the draft to take in the 7th round, but I did not have him on my final roster projection here. What do you guys think? A for Antonio Hamilton, T for Takarius Keys. You can only keep 1. It's possible they carry 6. I got it on carrying 5. I'm going to go with Hamilton because he's got special teams value. I'm not sure what Keys can bring to the table. And then obviously secondary, the safety spot in the secondary here as we show the entire defensive back depth chart. Just 4 safeties: Tyrann Mathieu, Juan Thornhill, Armani Watts, and Daniel Sorensen. You could have an extra guy here if Juan Thornhill's recovery from ACL surgery goes slower than expected, so that is still a possibility. But if he's ready to go, I think it's just those 4 guys: Thornhill, Tyrann Mathieu, Armani Watts, and Dirty Dan Sorensen. I think it's pretty simple at the safety position. And then special teams looks different for the first time in a while. Your kicker's the same with Harrison Butker, but no more Dustin Colquitt after releasing him to save a couple $1 million. Tommy Townsend, I'll roll with him for now. There's going to be a competition in camp at the punter position, but I'll go with the UDFA out of Florida. And then James Winchester, your long snapper, who's been there for quite a while. I think that is your special teams depth chart right there. So before we get to my practice squad, grade my Chiefs roster projections A, B, C, D, or F. It's really early. We'll probably do this again, July, August as we get closer to the regular season, but that's my way too early roster projection. Go ahead and grade it for me A, B, C, D, or F. I promised you guys the practice squad, so here it is. Remember now, 12 members instead of 10, so I'll go a little rapid fire here. I think SHEA Patterson will stay in the fold. He's the quarterback on the practice squad. Garrett Dieter, Patrick Mahomes' best friend. Got to keep him around. You guys know how that works. Maurice French, I'm intrigued by him as a UDFA wide receiver. I think they'll carry 2 wide receivers in the practice squad, so I've got him in there as well. Nick Keiser, the 4th tight end, outside looking in on the 53-man roster. I think they keep him around if they can. Greg Sinat and Ryan Hunter, a couple of offensive linemen there as well. Defensively, Taco Charlton, a team might pick him up, but if they don't, I think they'll definitely keep him around on the practice squad if they can. Braxton Hoyt at the defensive tackle spot, and then Amari Cobb at linebacker. Keep an eye on him. The kid out of Marshall really wanted to make a roster spot for him. Couldn't quite do it, but I think he's a prime practice squad candidate. And then a couple of members in the secondary here, Takarius Keys and Javaris Jones out of Auburn there. And then you got Chris Lamons as your 5th safety type. I think he could maybe push for a roster spot, but I've got him on the practice squad as well.